proof that Nick Jonas is fantastic in this movie. At one point, he has to sing a karaoke cover of I Melt With You badly, and he nails it. Hi everyone, it's me, Grant, the movie and TV guy. Welcome to Raise on Popcorn with Grant, everybody. And today we're talking about a movie. Movies and TV, so we do here, and it's a little film that may fall under your radar. And its production company Utopia is not helping that by only giving it a 2-night Fathom release. Hopefully, that means it'll be on streaming very soon. And it's worth checking out. And that movie is Movies and TV, so we do here. The Good Half. The Good Half is directed by Robert Schwartzman. He is the brother of Jason Schwartzman, son of Talia Shire, and yes, there is a Rad reference in this movie. There's a poster on the wall. Very nice. And he's also the lead singer of the band Rooney, which I did not know, which Rooney's awesome. So, this is, I think, not his first feature, but it's the first one for sure that I've seen. So, and it's written by Brett Ryland, I believe his name was. So what is The Good Half about? Well, the film centers on Ren. He's played by Nick Jonas, and as the story begins, he's flashing back to one of his few, if only, bad memory of him and his mother, that being when she kind of left him behind by accident at a department store. We then cut ahead to the present day. Nick Jonas is on a plane, and he meets cute with Alexander Shipp. They seem to hit it off, and he seems to be kind of on the quiet side. He's returning to his hometown in Cleveland. He claims to her for a reunion. It's actually for something a little more tragic. His mother's funeral. He and his mother had a very particularly terrific relationship. She's played in flashbacks by Elizabeth Shue, always a welcome sight. And he's coming down there to basically bury his mother. And along the way, he has to put the affairs in order. And he hates his small town. He hates Cleveland. He doesn't want to come back. He's a writer. He went out, to New York to be a writer, but he's essentially become a lot of small menial jobs, and he's struggling to come back home and reconnect with his sister, Brittany Snow, who gives a really great supporting performance in this. His father, played by Matt Walsh, not that Matt Walsh, comedian Matt Walsh, not asshole neo-Nazi Matt Walsh, and his dickhead of a stepfather, played in again, always welcome sight, by David Arquette. So this is quite the cast. And as they try to get the mother's affairs in order, he soon begins to discover, kind of come to terms with his mother's death. He sort of plays it off with humor, but his pain, it's a form of him grieving, and we see that. And this is the story of how he comes out of it. And the title, The Good Half, does come into play in the dialogue. I don't want to spoil it because I think it is significant. Let the journey begin. So The Good Half is a modest film, very much an indie film. It's a festival film. Unlike The Ladies Who Walked Out of this theater, it was a one-night thing, or 2 nights. The other one's on Thursday, but for our theater, it was only that first night. These Ladies Walking Out, that was Inside Out 2, was playing in the theater, and they saw it's one of those theaters with like the screen where they're like, oh, Nick Jonas is in it. It must be a Christian movie. It's not a Christian movie. In fact, one of the first things you see in the thing is the fact that the family is Jewish, and one of the things that miffs him is that the stepdad hired a priest, which is something the mom would not have wanted. So no, this is not a Christian movie by any means. It's an indie movie, and you know what? It's a pretty terrific one. I love The Good Half. I thought this was a really, really, really wonderful, modest little character study. And what I loved about it is that, yes, you've seen this story before. The sort of kind of surly guy learning to deal with grief as he's forced to come back to his hometown to bury a loved one. You've seen that kind of movie before. This is a really good version of that movie. There's been good and there's been bad. But I think what gives it that sense of feeling is Robert Schwartzman's direction, Brett Ryland's screenplay, and more than anything, the supporting cast performances, but more than anything else, Nick Jonas. He's fantastic in this movie. Like, no, genuinely, like this is a movie star making performance that sadly I think a lot of people are going to pass by, which is a shame because I really think this is like a great performance. Not to say that Nick Jonas has been bad when he's popped up in other movies, but this is by far this is like a lead role for him that he really gets into, and he plays a character that is a flawed character, and he does it really, really well. And yeah, I'm talking about Nick Jonas, the pop star of Jonas Brothers fame. He's great in this movie. He's absolutely fantastic in this movie. And the supporting cast is great. Brittany Snow, who's always been a pretty reliable character actress, gives also career best work here. Really, really thought nice scene, David Arquette, and he has a pretty great scene. He's mostly an asshole, but there's one scene where he does kind of show that little bit of humanity underneath himself. Matt Walsh, again, not that one. Really great, really funny as their biological father. Elizabeth Shue, always a welcome sight. Alexander Shipp, always a welcome sight. Good, just a good cast, and there's a sense of something real. And when they get to the point of what the movie is called, why the movie's called The Good Half, which apparently it was not originally called. There's a Q&A after the screening I saw. I don't know if it's going to be at the Thursday one, moderated by Kiernan Shipka, of all people, where they said the original title was going to be called Good Grief, and then the Dan Levy movie Good Grief came out, which I also quite liked. And they said, oh, okay, so they called it The Good Half. But yeah, the good, and if you actually look at the copyright, it says Good Grief 2024 Good Grief Film LLC. So that is like the copyright holder. So yeah, that was clearly what they were going for. But yeah, this is a really, 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 and despite the heavy subject matter, cancer, grief, all that stuff, it's a really funny movie too. There's a lot of genuinely funny moments, and it balances it well. It's not forced. It doesn't overdo anything. It's a movie made from familiar things, but you forget the familiarity because the rhythms of this movie. Like there's a scene where Nick Jonas faces essentially his nightmare, which is running into somebody like a former person that he kind of barely knew in a mall, is given resonance because of what he says about the mom. And there's the moment where they really take a beat, and this kind of character that he hasn't thought about in years really makes him think about it. And it's a really powerful moment and very unforced moment. It has the rhythms of truth to it and real life to it. And yeah, I love this movie. This is a great film. It's a modest film. It's a quiet film. It's an indie movie, and it's going to fly under your radar. Please don't let it fly under your radar. There's one more screening of it tomorrow night. I think it's at least here, Central Time, at 7 o'clock. Maybe with the Q&A, I don't know. If you can, see. I know that it's opening the same night as Deadpool, and everybody's going to want to go see that. I'm going to see Deadpool tomorrow, too. But if you're able, go see The Good Half. It's worth it. And if not the other screening, at the very least, when it eventually drops out on streaming, go check it out. So, yeah, terrific movie, The Good Half. And I'm going to give it, yeah, you see it. Bang, 5 out of 5 stars plus. Yeah, we have another winner. This is, I have a feeling I'm going to love Deadpool too, and that is, when there's this many good movies all in a row, that means the bad movie that's coming inevitably next is going to be really bad. But yeah, I've just kind of lucked out I know it seems like I'm giving a lot of 5-star pluses, but lately, the last couple of weeks, I've kind of just sort of lucked out on movies. I can't lie. Like, it's been a good run of movies lately, and that usually means that a bad one is coming. Like an all-time bad one is coming. That's usually how it goes. So, yeah. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, The Good Half, 5 out of 5 stars plus, it says the book on it. Trailer trash, none, because it was a Fathom event. Although they did have those Fathom promos, and apparently they're making a God's Not Dead 5. Thank God with the Fathom things I can pick and choose. It's not part of my thing of like seeing every wide release, because if that were the case, I'd have to see God's Not Dead 5, and I really, really don't want to see God's Not Dead 5. I didn't even see the fourth one. I stopped seeing those movies after the second one. I was just like, no, fuck this. And was there shawarma? Yes, there is the last scene bleeds into the credits. Also, again, I don't know if it's going to be on all screenings of this, but there is a Q&A after the credits, at least of the Fathom screening. I don't think it'll be on the social thing, but it's about a 20-minute long Q&A. I mean, it's part of the runtime listed. It has a 2-hour runtime. The movie itself is only about 90 minutes, but the Q&A is like 25. So it is close to 2 hours when all is said and done. Yeah. So yeah, really good, really great film, The Good Half, kind of under the radar movie. Go check it out, fantastic. And Utopia, promote it more, like give it more of add some screenings. Like it's okay to add, they do that all the time. Mind you, it was me and like 2 other people in that big screening room they reserved for Fathom events. I mean, it was like deserted. You could hear a pin drop, but it's. And I was the only one who stayed for the Q&A part. I guess a lot of people walked in late. Too. Like, everybody but me. I thought it was just going to be me there for the first 2 minutes of the movie, and then people started kind of coming in. But, yeah. Anyway, really good movie. Good Half. Go check it out. I'm almost out of hours for the month, so I'm trying not to make these too long, if you haven't noticed. So, anyway, that's it. We will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow night. We'll have back-to-back reviews coming down the pike for Deadpool and Wolverine, and a movie that's exactly on the same level, The Fabulous Four, starring Bette Midler and Susan Sarandon. Then we're going to take a break. It's Comic-Con weekend. I want to see the Marvel panel, and there's nothing really out. But then Sunday, we'll have a review, speaking of Fathom events that look interesting, we'll have a review of the fantasy comedy Man and Witch, The Dance of a Thousand Steps, which co-stars Christopher Lloyd, Eddie Izzard. Looks really fun. So we'll have a review of that. Next week is the Blackpink concert film, Trap, and Harold and the Purple Crayon, among others. Oh, and Saving Bikini Bottom. So that's coming up. And that'll all be next time. And until next time, I'm Grant, the movie and TV guy. I see it all, and I'm happy to share it with you. I love you all. I appreciate you all. I love you all. Class dismissed. Fill 3000. Be kind to one another. If you like this video, give it a like if you want to. Give it a subscribe if you want to. Give it the bell. I don't know what it does. That's what you're supposed to do. Or so I've been told. Leave a comment, even if it's, "Hey, Grant, I like waffles." It really helps out. If you want to find me elsewhere, reviews lists, and other fun stuff, you can find me on all my social media. I'm on literally everything at either Raised on Popcorn's Grant or Raised on Popcorn. Take care of yourself. Take care of your mental health. It's incredibly important. And I want to know down below, what did you think of The Good Half? Did you like the movie? Did you hate the movie? Think my opinion's good? Think I'm full of shit? Comment below. Let me know. And until we meet again, we were all raised on popcorn. Make mine with extra butter. I'll catch you guys next time. Take care, everyone. See you around. Bye.